we are cutting across to breaking news coming in. Reports that are suggesting that the Indian Air Force has in fact found the wreckage of the missing AN-32 transport aircraft, a development that has now come in after a week, and how the IAF has been on the search for over a week now. IAF on the search for the wreckage of the missing aircraft AN-32, and in fact the wreckage has been found around Mechuka in Arunachal Pradesh. Anirudh, my colleague, joining us on the phone line with more details. Anirudh, tell us what you know.
Yes, the wreckage has been finally spotted in Payum Circle in Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh, and it has been a massive search operation which was carried out around the clock for the last 8 days, and finally the Indian Air Force as well as the ground team which were on the search operation has located the wreckage of the missing AN-32 in Payum Circle of Siang district, and it has been learned that the wreckage has been a very remote area and to take another lot of time to bring it out as we await further details of the operation from the Indian Air Force. As of now, the District Information and Public Relations Office of Siang district in Arunachal Pradesh has confirmed that the wreckage has been spotted in Payum studio.
Anirudh, it has taken one whole week and a very, very rigorous operation by the Indian Air Force amidst very difficult weather conditions to actually now having achieved some success when it comes to finding this wreckage. If you could also give us more details of how did it lead to this, and how did they finally achieve some success in this?
The location, the terrain has been really very tough in this area, and it is not the visibility or the cloud which actually deceives the pilot in this particular area of Arunachal Pradesh, but the mirage formation of the clouds and the valley, which actually creates a lot of confusion for the pilot, and a false sense of security actually leads to such mishaps in this region. Remember, in 2009 also another AN-32 with 13 people went off the radar in this particular area itself, and that was also located in a record time. But this time, due to rough weather condition, very low cloud, this operation had to be carried out for 8 long days. And finally, today, after 8 days, the Indian Air Force as well as the ground team which were in the operation, the Indian Army, the NDRF, the ITBP, the state police have finally located this aircraft in Payum district in Siang. And the Arunachal Pradesh District Information and Public Relations Office of Siang district has now confirmed that this wreckage has been spotted.
Right. Anirudh, stay with us. We also have Niranjan joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. Niranjan, I want to come to you and please give us details of where exactly has the wreckage been found and how far is this from where the aircraft had taken off?
Well, quickly on the map of, of Arunachal Pradesh, I can tell you a little bit about where the plane took off from. If my video journalist can just focus on this, I have a 3D map where we'll try and show you where the plane took off from and where it was intended to go and where the debris is, reportedly located. The plane took off from Jorhat, as Aniruddha is telling us. Took off from Jorhat, was headed to Arunachal Pradesh, and in Siang district, we are being told that in Siang district, about 15 to 20 kilometers north of the flight path is where the wreckage, parts of the aircraft has been located. Now, this is what we have been told. Aniruddha, if you can quickly tell us about the location and how far this was this wreckage has been found from the intended flight path of the original journey. It took off from Jorhat, and the debris has been reportedly spotted by a Mi-17 chopper in Siang district. This is Siang district that I've just marked out on this map, and Jorhat is where the plane took off from. So I'm just marking that out as well. So how far off the intended flight path was the AN-32 flight? If you can quickly tell our viewers that bit of information.
Yes, Niranjan, it's around 200 kilometers from Jorhat where the debris has been located, and it was after half an hour of takeoff from Jorhat that this unfortunate AN-32 went off the radar, and they lost signal with the control room, and finally it crashed in Payum Circle, which is in between Mesuka and Along. This is around by road. If we go, it is around 7 to 8 hours distance from Along, but on flight route it is around another 15 to 20 minutes distance, and so it can be calculated that from the intended flight path, the missing AN-32 actually went around 15 minutes off to the location where it has been now found. Niranjan.
Yeah. And we're just waiting for an official word from the Indian Air Force. There is no official word yet, right? Aniruddha, did you try getting in touch? Did you try getting in touch with the Indian Air Force? What's the official version so far, and where does the confirmation come from?
Yes, Niranjan, the Indian Air Force has clearly said that they will be issuing an official statement shortly in this regard, but they have not yet officially confirmed this. But the Arunachal Government Authority, the District Information and Public Relations Office of Siang District, has officially confirmed that the debris of the missing AN-32 has been located, and top sources in the Indian Air Force has also confirmed off the record that the wreckage of the missing AN-32 has been found, and we are expecting an official statement from the Indian Air Force shortly.
Stay on the line with me. Stay on the line with me. Getting in some more breaking news now from Zarir Hussain of News Live. Zarir Hussain of News Live is getting us some more breaking updates. I think the wreckage has been found near Gate Village. Gate Village in Siang district. It's a thickly forested area. It's been confirmed by the District Magistrate of Shiomi District. District Magistrate of Shiomi District, these are fresh details that Republic TV is picking up. The wreckage was found near the Gate Village in Siang District in a thickly forested area. It has been confirmed by the District Magistrate of Shiomi District, Mr. Miko Dirchi. Mr. Miko Dirchi has given a confirmation to Zarir Hussain of News Live. This is the big update that we are getting as we speak, picking up the latest reports from leading media houses in the northeast, from Assam to Arunachal Pradesh. We're trying to get you the latest updates, and we have a confirmation now that in Siang district, the wreckage has been found near Gate Village. Gate Village, and it has been confirmed by District Magistrate of the Shiomi District, Mr. Miko Dirchi. Now, these are the details that we're picking up from Zarir. We'll also try and get Zarir on the phone line anytime now. Zarir Hussain of News Live also tracking the story very closely along with Northeast Live. And together we're trying to get the latest from on the ground in Arunachal Pradesh and also from Assam, leading media houses in the Northeast, trying to get us the latest breaking news updates. Aniruddha, the latest that we're getting is that the confirmation has also come in from not just the Arunachal Pradesh government, but also from the District Magistrate of Shiomi District, Mr. Miko Dirchi. Can you confirm these details to us, Aniruddha?
Yes, Niranjan, Mito DC, the DC of Shiomi District, has also confirmed this news as well as the District Information and Public Relations Office of Siang District. As of now, two top officials of Arunachal Pradesh state government has confirmed that the wreckage of the missing AN-32 has been located in Payum. I repeat, the location of the wreckage is in Payum, which is approximately around 70 to 80 kilometers from Along, another important city of Arunachal Pradesh. And let me tell you, Niranjan, that the terrain in this particular area is very, very very difficult due to low visibility, due to low flying clouds. The operation was repeatedly halted for several times in the last 8 days. And today, Mi-17 helicopter of the Indian Air Force finally located the wreckage at Payum, and it was a massive operation carried out by the Indian Air Force round the clock for the last 8 days. Ground teams were also pushed into action. They were in the job for more than 24 hours every day, round the clock. They were searching for this wreckage, and finally today the wreckage has been found. Let me also tell you that before 2 days back, the Indian Air Force also announced an award for anyone who can give information on the location of the missing AN-32 wreckage, and they also said that a cash prize of rupees 5 lakh will be given to anyone who can give information.
I think we have Zarir Hussain of News Live joining us on the phone line. Zarir, what are you picking up? I think the DIPR of go ahead. I think the DIPR of Arunachal Pradesh is also confirmed. Zarir,
yeah, we have got confirmation from the Deputy Commissioner of Siang district, which is an adjacent district to his Miko Dirchi. He said that the wreckage has been spotted in Siang district, again in adjacent district, at a village, near a village called Gate. It's spelled Gate. It's a village called Gate. It's a very thickly forested area, very rough terrain, and it is about approximately 15 to 20 kilometers from the pathway that the aircraft took, that it went off the radar. So it's almost close to the area from where it lost contact with the ATC, where it went off the radar. So it's close to that area, but it took a very long time. A couple of logistical reasons. The weather out here was very inclement during the last so many days, last 1 week. It cleared up today, and probably, that is the reason how, with the help of locals and the aircraft that Indian Air Force and Army have deployed, they have been able to spot it.
Zarir, there is some more breaking news coming in. And I just want to quickly take our viewers to the, if I can just show this tweet that has been put out by the Indian Air Force. The official word coming in from the Indian Air Force now that the wreckage of the missing AN-32 was spotted today 16 kilometers north of Lipo, northeast of Tato, at an approximate elevation of 12,000 feet by the Indian Air Force Mi-17 helicopter undertaking search in the expanded search zone. So the first confirmation coming in, the official confirmation from the Indian Air Force, saying that the wreckage of the missing AN-32 was spotted 16 kilometers north of Lipo, this is northeast of Tato, at an approximate elevation of 12,000 feet by the Indian Air Force Mi-17 helicopter undertaking the search in the expanded search zone. So this is the big breaking news update coming in. Zarir, if you can just speak over these pictures. I think it's official now that the wreckage has been found, but it's taken them 8 days, Zarir. 8 days in this tough terrain.
As I said, it took 8 days because of the extremely inclement weather that we have seen in that area. It's bordering China, as we know. From there, hardly about 20 odd kilometers is the imaginary McMahon line that separates India from China. So it's a very difficult terrain. As you said, 12,000 feet at an elevation of 12,000 feet. Lepo and Gate are close villages. So they must have, located Lipo. Lipo and Gate are close adjacent villages, which are very, scantily, it's not at all densely populated area. Hardly few hundreds of people stay there, inhabit there. So it was a difficult terrain, and as we understand is that Mi-17 helicopter spotted the wreckage. They flew quite low, and they were able to just spot the wreckage, but it will take time to reach out to that place. Actually, what we understand is that Air Force is trying to paradrop some soldiers out there, or the second option, contingency B plan. Plan B is to, let some soldiers and local villagers go on a foot march. It will take a hell lot of time, I'm telling you, because of the extremely difficult terrain out there.
You know, Zarita, looking at the flight path, it took off from Jorhat. But looking at the flight path of this plane, I mean, you know, what do you make of it? Because you know the area better. How many kilometers off path is this location where the wreckage has been found?
See, it was flying to Mechuka. There's an advanced landing ground out there, which was just about 7 to 8 minutes from the destination when it went off the radar. And probably only after we get the black box or the wreckage, the experts would be able to tell what exactly happened. But definitely, in that area, we have seen in the past so many Indian Air Force and Army helicopters and other aircraft have gone missing, and then it crashed. So because of the extreme foggy conditions, the area, the poor visibility, this could be some of the reasons. And it took about 8 days to spot the wreckage because the aircraft, we know that Sukhoi also took off, and some other aircraft were used. So some trackers were also deployed. But because of the conditions, because of the rough conditions, they were unable to spot. So today only the Mi-17 helicopter, it flew very low, and they were able to spot because the weather was partially clear today, was much better compared to the last 7 days. So this is the reason why they have been able to finally spot the wreckage, and we are for sure that it crashed. So until this moment, all the family members were pinning hope, hoping against hope that something miracle might happen and they will be able to get back their families. But family members who were on board, 13 of them, all air warriors. So now, what we understand is that since the wreckage has been spotted, it is almost confirmed that we will not get anybody alive. So this is a very sad news that we need to break at this point in time, that under these extreme conditions, 8 days, wreckage has been spotted. So the chances of any survivors is absolutely thin.
Well, Zarita, I have the map with me here. If my producers can just come to this map from the intended takeoff, from the intended destination to the takeoff, I'm just going to try and chart this out. And Zarita, I want you to stay with us. This is Jorhat. This is where the wreckage has been found. This is Siang district, and this is Mechuka. So if you look at the location, it is roughly about 50 to 60 kilometers from Mechuka, the intended destination. This is from where the flight took off. This is Jorhat. This is Tato. This is Tato's this is the West Siang district. This is the Central Siang district. This is the West Siang district. This is Tato. And at an altitude, this is Mechuka, by the way. If I can just show our viewers a little bit about the altitude of Mechuka, because this is where the debris has been located. It's roughly, this is a map which is updated every 24 hours, giving you an idea of the terrain where this debris has been found. This is a Microsoft map giving you an idea of the real location. This is the location as is. If you take a closer look at the spot where the debris has been found, this is the kind of area, and they found it at an altitude of 12,000 feet. An altitude of 12,000 feet. And this is the exact location. This is west of Tato. This is west of Tato. If I can just, ask my video journalist to focus on this. West of Tato, and if I zoom out, you can also see the Mechuka airfield. So this is very close. Seems like it was very close to the intended destination, which was the Mechuka airfield. But something may have gone wrong. We'll perhaps wait for the Indian Air Force to give us an official version of what happened. But the sad bit of news that we're breaking here on Republic TV, that the debris has been spotted, and it has been spotted at an altitude of 12,000 feet. And it has been spotted by a chopper. And this is initial information that we're breaking. We'll have to wait for much more detailed information to come in. But the plane took off. Once again, to all our viewers who are joining us on this big breaking news broadcast, just zooming into the map of the northeast. This is Assam, Jorhat, from where the flight took off. The flight took off from Jorhat. The AN-32 with 13 men on board was headed to Mechuka. This is Mechuka. If I can just zoom in a little bit on that. Mechuka, close to the border with China, about 20 kilometers from the border, took off, but something went wrong over the West Siang district of Tato, where the debris has now been located. And how close was this to the China border? If you can just tell our viewers a little bit about that.
It's about 29 kilometers from the imaginary McMahon line that separates India from China. So from Mechuka, that's the advanced landing ground facility of the Indian Air Force. And most of the Indian Air Force flights operate to Mechuka for airdropping of essentials, for locals as well. And also to carry villagers who are sick to bases, army bases, hospitals, or to Assam, because there is absolutely no communication facilities. So the moot point is that it took eight days to spot the wreckage because of the extreme weather conditions and the extremely difficult terrain. It's a thickly forested area, and because of the monsoon, it was raining heavily, and the Indian Air Force helicopters or the Sukhois, they were unable to go near, or they had to curtail their operations time and again because of the inclement weather. But since the weather today cleared up, Mi-17 helicopters, they flew very low and they were able to spot it. This happened about an hour back. The Air Force helicopter, what we understand is that there were 3 sorties made today. 3 different
Zarida, there's some more breaking news that's coming in, Zarida. Zarida, there's some more breaking news coming in. If my video journalist can just focus on this, I just want to read out the second tweet that has been put out by the Indian Air Force. Zarir Hussain, News Live editor, is on the phone line with us as we bring you breaking news updates on a real-time basis. Indian Air Force has confirmed now, about 2 minutes ago, that efforts are continuing to establish the status of occupants and establish survivors. Further details will be communicated as the recovery actions progress. The first confirmation that came in about 14 minutes ago from the Indian Air Force said that the wreckage of the missing AN-32 was spotted 16 kilometers north of Lipo, which is northeast of Tato, at an approximate elevation of 12,000 feet by the Indian Air Force Mi-17 helicopter, undertaking search operation in the expanded search zone. So this was the expanded search zone where the wreckage has been found, and a second confirmation coming in that efforts are now on to establish the status of the occupants and establish if there are any survivors. Further details will be communicated as the recovery actions progress. So the Indian Air Force on record not saying much about the survivors, if any, on this plane, on the AN-32, but 13 people were on board. Zarida, before I know that you're taking time away from your own channel to be live with us. If you can quickly tell us a little bit about this area where the wreckage has been found.
Yeah, let me tell you, I just mentioned a little while back that, that considering the climatic condition, considering the terrain, and considering that 8 days have passed, and the fact that the Mi-17 helicopter have spotted the wreckage. See, this is an official stand taken by the Indian Air Force that, the recovery progress will be known and the status of the survivors. But considering the climatic condition, considering the terrain, and since the wreckage has been recovered, it is very, very slim chances of survivors. But then, until and unless the Indian Air Force are able to recover the bodies and go near the site, crash site, it will be difficult for them to say on record that all the 13 people have not survived. So far, that iota of doubt, that element of doubt or element of hope, they have kept. But then it will be a miracle if we find some survivors. But under the circumstances, extremely cold climatic conditions, tough terrain, it is very, very remote, the chances of survival. But then the Indian Air Force will go by its protocol until and unless the bodies are recovered, they cannot tell you for sure that the people have not survived or they have died. But then let us only pray and hope that there are survivors. But let's also be very practical, that considering the absolutely inclement conditions out there, rough conditions, very hard conditions there, it is very, very unlikely, very remote, the chances of survival.
Okay, Zarir Hussain, thank you for joining us here on Republic TV on this big breaking news broadcast as we get you the details of the AN-32 debris which has been located by Mi-17 helicopters, which for the last 7 days have been trying to look for the missing plane. Confirmation now coming in that the debris has been spotted 12,000 feet at an altitude of 12,000 feet by an Mi-17 chopper in terrain where it was tough for the rescue teams and the search teams to reach. And if my video journalist can just focus on this. This is Tato, the west of Tato, where the debris has been located. This was the intended destination, which was Mechuka. And this is where the debris roughly has been found at an altitude of 12,000 feet. Now, we don't know if we can expect any more details at this moment. We'll have to wait officially for the Indian Air Force to come out with more details. If Aniruddha is still with us, let's try and... Okay, we'll take a short break at this point and we'll come back with the big breaking updates. Taking a short break.